What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Rob from Rob's Rants. The unexpected, the unbelievable, the remarkable happened last night. Eddie Murphy returned to SNL after 30 years of not hosting the show or being a cast member, after 30 years of staying away from the place where it all started for him when I was a kid, watching him portraying all those characters, Buckwheat and Gumby and Mr. Rogers and Velvet Jones and James Brown and all the other characters that he played. He went back to his roots up on SNL, Saturday Night Live, for those of you who don't know the acronym. He went back to that. And I have to say that it was interesting seeing Eddie Murphy in that position. Part of me was happy to see him back in there because it took me back to my childhood. It was quite nostalgic. I remember seeing him doing the James Brown hot tub, and I remember seeing him playing the role of Velvet Jones and doing Gumby and doing Buckwheat. Buckwheat was never my favorite. I always thought Buckwheat was quite coonish. He's making fun of black folks in the way that uneducated black people talk. So I wasn't really that crazy about looking at Gumby, but some of the other characters I thought were quite brilliant. So they actually opened up the whole entire thing with this monologue, and you had all of the comedians, I guess, that came under Eddie Murphy, except for Martin Lawrence. He wasn't there. I think he's been banned from SNL. He actually was banned from SNL, from my understanding. But all the other comedians that got big, who came off the coattails of wrote off the coattails of Eddie Murphy's success later on in the 90s, such as Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle and Tracy Morgan. They all were up on there with Eddie Murphy, which I thought was a very interesting and moment. Of course, he had to go out and take shots at Bill Cosby, which I personally thought was uncalled for, and I think was quite ridiculous, because Bill opened up the doors for him and also for Richard Pryor. And I kind of thought it was inappropriate for him to sit up and throw Bill Cosby up under the bus and talk about the roles that were reversed. I'm now America's dad and he's in prison. I wouldn't have taken that bet. Quite uncalled for. Because as you guys all know, I don't think that Bill Cosby is guilty. I think that he's innocent. Just based on what I saw in that trial, based on what I know about these cases, I don't think that Bill Cosby did anything wrong. I think Bill Cosby is an innocent man that's been put in jail for some shit he didn't do. But I digress. But anyway, back to Eddie Murphy's triumphant return to SNL. And I have to say that overall, I thought the show was actually pretty good. I mean, there were some moments I thought were quite coonish. He was indulging in some stereotypes about black folks, which I thought was kind of problematic. The funniest moment I thought that I saw was when he played Gumby. He had me in stitches. He was playing, the role of Gumby and being just a belligerent heckler going on the show, and everybody, even the cast members that were on stage with him, broke character and had to start laughing themselves because he was so goddamn funny. But nevertheless, some of the other stuff that I saw on there, the Buckwheat skit, I thought was not funny at all. I was surprised that Eddie Murphy, actually, I'm not surprised Eddie Murphy actually did it, but he did. The Velvet Jones skit I thought was actually pretty funny. The Mr. Rogers skit I thought was actually funny as well, because they kind of dealt with gentrification. And they went on and they went, through Eddie Murphy's whole entire rendition. So it was a very interesting show to see, none the least. I keep using that word. One of the things about watching this episode of SNL with Eddie Murphy, quite frankly, is the fact that he has seemed to gotten better as an actor, gotten better even when his timing as a comedian. I guess that goes without saying, because the more and more you practice your craft, the better you are in terms of the kind of performances that you give. And Eddie Murphy has definitely gotten better. So I'm interested to see what he does in stand-up, and I'm actually Very interested to see what he does in some of the upcoming movies that he has coming up. The Dolomite movie I thought was actually really, really good. And I can't wait to see Coming to America Part 2 when it comes out. So, I say overall that the show is worth watching. It's definitely a triumphant. It's definitely a triumph for Eddie Murphy. My biggest criticism that I had was this Lizzo character, and I've been hearing things about her. The first time I actually got a chance to watch her, and I tried to watch her with an open lens and an open mind, but I don't see what the big deal is. I don't think that she's talented at all. I think that she's horrible as a performer, as a singer, as a rapper, and she's morbidly obese. And my thing is that why are they trying to prop up these morbidly obese fat women just to make other morbidly obese fat women feel good about themselves, about the fact that you're morbidly obese? You know, you're encouraging somebody to get diabetes. You're encouraging somebody to get high blood pressure, hypertension, and potentially die of a heart attack before you even reach the age of 30, which will be her if she doesn't do something about her weight problem. And she's up on there shaking her flabby, no funny built ass up on stage in front of all these people, and I'm supposed to sit up and applaud that and think that's cute. And she got fat girls up there dancing on a stripper pole. No one wants to look at that. I don't want to look at that. You know? But this is what entertainment has come to. So whatever happened to the days that you're supposed to be judged by your skill, not by spectacle and the bullshit that you put out, but your skill. And we're past that point. Now it's a circus. Literally, it's a circus. Any and everybody can sit up and get involved in the act if you're willing to do things that are going to degrade and humiliate yourself. So she doesn't recognize the fact that the entertainment industry is treating her as a modern day 21st century mammy, a modern day 21st century Hattie McDaniel, bucking her eyes, showing off, her flat behind. I'm telling you, those record executives are laughing at her behind her back. They don't realize they are, but they're laughing at her back. The same thing with those people, with those photographers who sit up and they take those pictures up over at Target or Kmart and some of these places where they got fat women in their brassieres, with their old flabby stomachs and chubby cheeks showing. No one wants to look at all that. No one wants to look at all that. This is straight exploitation. They're trying to figure out a way how they can exploit women who don't want to have any accountability for all the shit that they shove down their throats every morning. But that's just the way things are going. Anyway, Eddie Murphy's return, his triumphant return to SNL, I thought overall was a success. There were some problems, but overall I thought it was pretty entertaining, and I did watch it for nostalgic reasons. So that's my opinion. That's my 2 cents that I'm putting in on this particular commentary about the Eddie Murphy SNL return. So tune in for some more updates. And this is Rob from Rob's Rants. You take it easy. Later.